Hariom.
Hariom.
Hariom. Good. So start with shaking. Left and right. Lift and drop the shoulders. So for warm up, we have some. It's the same walking. So just walk normally, not tripping on the mat.
매트 닿지 말아요.
걸리지 말라고.
And raise the hands and twisting. So shoulders and hips twisting. And then head goes opposite to the shoulder. So this is like the walking crocodile exercise. Now you want the advanced version, which is backwards.
Oh, backwards.
So just walk backwards. So normal walking backwards. And then raise the hands. So coordinate that with walking backwards. Easy. And then the head should become natural, shoulder to shoulder. Okay?
Yes.
And then relax. Every time I add a little bit extra. So, next one is, again for warm up, breathe in, hold the breath, and then circle the arms both together. So 5 times backwards, 5 times forwards. So when you're ready, breathe out first, then breathe in, and then any direction. So I usually do backwards first. 3, 4, 5, and then forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then relax. Shake, right side, left side. If you want, you can do separately. First forwards, and then backwards. 2 separate exercises. But what we find is people forget whether they did forwards or backwards. So it's better just to do, in the same breath, do both. So you don't need to remember. So same for the swimming one. So breathe in, hold the breath, and then swimming. Be careful of lights and wall. So about 4 or 5, and then backwards about 4 or 5. One person heard it as 405. And he said, I'm not doing 400. 400? 405. So, next is the twisting. So breathe in, hold the breath, and then just head and eyes and everything around. So you should be able to see maybe 3/4 of the way. So if this is 0, that's a quarter, back is a half, and then 3/4. Ideally, but not everyone can reach. Some people only can do backwards, so half and half, but you should be able to get further back. Then head facing forward, breathe in, hold the breath, and just with the head forward as much as possible. So the hips can move. Squeeze. Not. So the twisting is coming from the floor upwards. Sometimes what I do to show the exercise, if you just stand like this, and then just on the ankles twist, then the hips twist, then the shoulders twist, then the head, and then the eyes. So all done separately, and then the other way. So ankles first, knees, hips, shoulders. breath, and then twist and bounce, twist and bounce. Should feel natural, easy, perhaps a bit slower, about 50% slow, and then relax. Maybe one time in a month you can do quickly for the different effect, but most of the time, most of the exercises are done slowly. So not as a sport, not as competition with anyone, just for self-development. What's the next one? Have we done this one?
Yeah.
Did we do the other one?
We didn't do this one.
Okay, we jumped over that. Okay, some basic exercises, very, very basic. So one is forward, backwards, one is side to side, one is bend, left and right. Each of them done as a separate exercise. So hands like this, breathe in, through the nose. I know I'm breathing through the mouth, but because I've got a cold. Breathe through the nose in, hold the breath, and then lean forward, whatever is comfortable, and then lean backwards, whatever is comfortable, carefully, and then repeat one more time. So lean forward, just up to what is comfortable, and then lean backwards, what is comfortable. And then stop the exercise, breathe out, lean forward, keep breathing out, 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 out. Stop the breath out for 1 second, and then breathe in, come up, and relax. Shake, right side, left side, shoulders. So then the next one is just twisting left and right. So breathe in, hold the breath, and then twist to the right, then left, then right, then left, and then stop and relax, breathe out. Shake, right side, left side. And then the more difficult one is the bend. Most people don't do this movement in normal life, so it's more difficult to get the flexibility. So remember, it's the shoulder coming over, so that will help you this way. Don't keep the shoulders fixed. But then you can't bend too much, you need to go over a little bit. So, breathe in, full breath in the chest, and then to your right, and then left. So lift the shoulder, the higher shoulder a little bit, and then one more time. So when you bend to one side, the opposite shoulder, you can move a little bit extra. And breathe out, keep breathing out until there's no more air left. Hold for 1 second and breathe in. And relax. Shake. Easy so far?
Yeah.
So in this yoga, the importance is not the difficulty of the physical exercises. More important is the breathing. And the effect, and also especially the breathing out and holding. So holding the breath while you're doing the exercise, and when you breathe out, holding for 1 second. Those are more important than the actual exercise from the yoga point of view. But we do some exercise because it will have benefit throughout the body, and also it keeps the interest as well for everyone to do something different. it's possible to do one exercise, the same exercise 100 times, but it's not interesting. So we have a variety of exercise, keep the interest, and also have different cleaning effects in the body. So whichever way you move, it will have some internal effect on the organs, bones, muscles, etc. So, we've done 3.
Yes.
Forward, backwards, twist,
Just side back.
side. The next one is circle with the hips. So this one is keep the head still, but trying to go forward first and then round to the right
Alright.
for the first breath, and second breath go forward first and then round to the left.
Left.
So breathe out first, breathe in, hold the breath, and then lean forward with the hips and then go to the right, around, keeping the head still. So we don't do this. We don't do this. That's another exercise. About 3 times, and then stop, then breathe out. And the second one. So breathe in, hold the breath, lean forward the hips a bit, and then circle around, keeping the head in the same position. Easy? So a little bit more challenge. It's a similar exercise, but different muscles are used. So instead of moving in a big movement, try to do that kind of movement.
Okay.
Very tight, again, a small circle, not a big circle. So breathe out first, breathe in, hold the breath, and then twist the hips forward, and then around. It's like maybe one of the Latin dances. So about 3 times should be enough. Then stop and breathe out. Okay, then the opposite. So breathe in, breathe out first, breathe in, hold the breath, and then twist the hips up, and then move to the left. As small a circle as possible, using the muscles to rotate the hips. This is also very good for lower back. It can help with releasing tension and pain and so on. Okay? You should feel good in the lower back. Now a bit more difficult, so be careful about balance and speed, so not too fast. And for the first try, just do one full circle. So in this one, we breathe in, hold the breath, lean forward, and then with the head, full circle around. Be careful here, 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 because most people will take a step back because they're going to fall. So hips come forward to keep the balance, and then come here, and the hips go back to keep the balance, and then so stop at 1 circle. In the next time you can do 2 or 3. But for the first one, just 1 circle clockwise and then anti-clockwise. So breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, hold the breath. Lean forward, what is comfortable, and then go to the right, and big circles. Hips will come forward, and just stop at one circle, just for safety. You can probably do two, but just for safety. Okay, so next one the other way. So breathe in, or breathe out first. Breathe in, and then lean forward. This time go to your left side. Make a big circle with the head. I know I did too, but okay. Breathe out, relax. So now you know the technique, then I'm happy for you to do 2 or 3 if you want. So choose 2 or 3, whichever number you want. But the breath must be held. If you decide 3, you must keep the breath held up to 3. So I would say do just 2 initially. So breathe out, breathe in, and then lean forward and decide your number. So slowly. Obviously if you do it quickly, you can do 3 or 5 even. But we want to do it slowly. 2 is enough for me. And relax. Shake to the left side, right side, shoulders. And then try 3 if you want. So breathe out first. Breathe in. Lean forward. And then 3 big circles with the head. I can only do 2, so I'll stop here. And when you finish, breathe out. Hold the breath out 1 second, and then breathe in slowly, and then do the shake, left and right, and shoulders. Not milkshake. That's a different thing. So you should feel okay. There's no discomfort, no pain, anything. Next one. Give you a bit more challenge. See how good your balance is. I've got an assistant here. You're not allowed to touch anything. So, yoga style. Let's try this one. So it's number 5?
4. 5.
And instead of like this, we'll do the Namaste position. So breathe in, hold the breath, and then head right, knee left, hand stay in the same position, then head left, knee right. If you want, you can hold the wall, if you find it more comfortable. Not all the way, just number 5. Yeah, that's it. So it looks like 4.
Figure 4.
Yeah. Try it 2 times. See. I've actually missed out some easy ones. I've gone to the medium level one. The easy ones are just static.
Okay.
But I thought I'd give you a challenge. And breathe out, relax, and then try the number 6. So breathe in, hold the breath, and then head right, or head right, knees left, or knee left, and head knee right.
This is a standing crocodile.
Yes, only number
Number 5 and 6.
5 and 6.
골반도 보셔야 돼요?
이렇게 크로코다일.
You can't do it from the beginning. So number 0, then this one, then 1, 2, 3, 4. But those lower ones, when you're standing, are not so.
Yeah, not so good.
So this one is okay.
Okay.
We'll try number 7 as well,
Uh-huh.
A and B, in the standing one. So for this one, just bend the legs, keep the back straight to the head, and again, just this. If you want a variation, so I'm not saying this is the right one or this is the right one, I'm saying both are right. You can choose which one you like. But for today, try this one. So you need to get quite low, and then breathe in, hold the breath, and then head goes right, you're right, and knees go left. So you can lean back on the heels, so you do this.
Alright.
Yeah. And then the other way. And then the other way. Just 2 times is enough. So 4 twist. And then before you breathe out, stand up normally and then breathe out. And then relax. If you have time,
Is it? You have to like this.
so ideally, I mean that's easy, that's okay. Ideally you want a smooth motion, so you don't stop in the middle.
Okay.
You can stop at the end,
Uh-huh.
but not in the middle. Ideally. But if you want to stop in the middle, that's fine, until you get the experience of it.
So this has the same effect online.
Hold on, I'm just finishing this.
Okay.
So this breathing is involuntary. Seems like Vastrika, but it's natural. I'm not doing Vastrika, it's happening by itself. So feet also tighten. I just need to let this finish. I can stop it manually. I can stop anytime now, but I prefer to stop when the process is finished, whatever it is. If you, the nearest I can think is in the Chinese culture. There's a goddess called Kuan Yin. Have you heard of her? She often has this river.
관님, 관음.
Q-U-A-N.
Yeah, there's a Chinese pronunciation, so
Oh yeah,
Korean
yes, oh, sorry.
pronunciation is different.
Yes, yes. So if I show you some pictures, she's often got this wonder. So it's something common through the world. Maybe not everyone gets, some people get this. It depends on the internal meditation and state. So in the Buddhist statues, they have this mudra sitting down, or this one to give the knowledge. But there are hundreds of different mudras, hundreds. And there are some books which describe the different mudras. This is a common one that they use also in the music festival. This one is for fearlessness.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. This one is for, I think, more complex one, like that. This is Denu Mudra.
I see.
Or, there's also this one. In ninjutsu, they use this one.
Ninja.
Ninjutsu. Ninja.
Ninjutsu or ninjutsu. They can stay in the mountain cave for 3 days with this, obviously with extra meditations. But this is to close the network so energy is not used up. What else? There's this one. There's this one. There's also this one. Different purposes. There's this one. In fact, this one, interesting, that there's a film, do you know Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah, Kung Fu.
So, no, the panda,
I know.
the film. So it's a cartoon.
I know.
So there's number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Yes.
In the third one, they're using this mudra.
Panda using this mudra.
Not only the panda, but
Every.
the others for some purpose. I only saw a little bit on YouTube, maybe 10 minutes, but they were using this for something during the fighting and so on. So, sorry for the distraction into mudra, but for many years I wondered what this was. The first time it happened was 1984, and I was doing meditation for 1 hour or more, and this happened naturally when I was in Padmasana, and I didn't know what it was, so I made it straight. So this is also mudra, to accept the universe, etc. But then within 2 or 3 seconds, it was already back. And I thought I just made it straight. So I made it straight again. Within 2 or 3 seconds, it was back. So I thought, I don't know what this is. I know what this is because I've seen it in the books. So I know what this is. I don't know what this is.
Did you ask Swamiji?
Yes.
What he said?
I think I asked a lot of questions, and he only had 1 word as the answer. You'd be surprised. Oh well, maybe you're not surprised. But he had 1 answer. He said Kundalini.
Oh, okay.
At the time he told me, I was a bit surprised because I expected him to spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes to explain it. So I was ready to learn.
There.
And he gave me 1 word, Kundalini. So Swamiji has a different style of teaching. So a lot of his teaching methods are very short. Maybe only 1 sentence in the whole day is relevant for the individual. Maybe different individuals, but he has already done the analysis much before. And then when the right time comes, then he gives that 1 sentence to the person. So for me, Kundalini was the answer. For mudra, some other things as well. Various energy flows through the body, and also some meditation states, trance state. Trance is a entry level, but I think it was much higher. But the general response was Kundalini. So the reason for doing this in this exercise is you have a fixed point against which you can do the twist. So you can also do it with the normal, then you have a different fixed point. It's a different, there's more, if you feel here, under the arms, there's a energy point under the arms, and that gets massaged. Same as in the lying down the course, but because you're standing, the gravity will have a different effect. So we use gravity quite a lot. Crocodiles are neutral at the normal first course because we're horizontal, so gravity is working equally. As as soon as we become vertical, then gravity is going down the spine, and it has different effects. Exercises will have different effects going down the spine. So, we've done A and B, and 7A, now we do 7B. So feet together. I'll show you first. So we're doing this one. You have to lean back a little bit to get the toes up. And then, so you can stop here, don't stop in the middle. Try to keep the hands fixed. It's difficult. So 4 times. You can do more, I know you can do more, but for the learning, just 4. Yeah, you might want to do it on the wood rather than. So breathe in, hold. Yeah, that's it. Easy. Oh, you make it look easy. Good. So just for information, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so let's say 3 sessions, 3 sessions, 3 sessions, that's 9, at least minimum, but there are also other discussions. So I would say by lunchtime you will have completed the foundation, so whatever we do next will be more than intermediate or whatever level. So the progress is very good so far, but we're moving out of the introduction now more into intermediate level. So what's number?
8. You can do 8.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
It's a bit more difficult to do the standing version. I think the nearest you can try is this. Keep the head looking one way and then try to twist.
But do you do this where?
Pardon?
I mean, like, do you do? I mean, like, standing crocodile is somewhat like something, somewhat like awkward. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's, I mean, like, it's for your personal use.
Yes.
Do you use it a lot? I think some like figure 4. I think that's it reasonable.
Yeah.
7, yeah, maybe. But like 8. Yeah. So.
From my point of view, the standing crocodiles, perhaps once in a year, once in 2 years, you might do it. But mostly it's on the floor.
On the floor. Okay.
So this is like
bonus
master class. It's a more advanced method. We don't expect everyone to do it, but just to give you a flavour of
okay.
the, you know.
Got it.
I'll give you the full foundation, but then I give you flavour of the middle, bit more advanced.
Okay.
So that when you study yourself, there are lots of possibilities, websites, books, etc. If I have given those little bits, then when you come to that bit later, it will be easy.
To understand. Yeah.
It will give you a smooth path, rather than being shocked or you don't know what's happening, etc. If you know in advance, it's much better. Other people would prefer me not to do it. They prefer just step by step. But Swamiji's method is he'll mix up the basic ones and the advanced ones, so you won't know which is which. And some of what I thought were basic turned out to be more intricate. What I thought were difficult were not so important. I'll give you one example. Fish relaxation. So I came from a background where I had been doing the classical exercises, physical exercises, and I saw fish relaxation And I thought, that's nothing. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I thought that was very easy. Anyone can do it, but it doesn't do anything for me.
Mhm.
I prefer to do peacock and
Right, yeah.
strong
Strong one.
exercises. So after maybe 3 or 4 years of doing
Mhm.
crocodiles, etc., I reached a certain point
Mhm.
where suddenly, aha,
Mhm.
I understood
Mm.
more about the exercise.
Mhm.
You can't rush it. I can try to explain, but you can't really rush it for your own experience. But you'll reach a point where you suddenly realize, aha,
Mhm.
that's amazing. But it just takes time. Same as if you plant a tree,
Mhm.
you won't get the tree in one day or a week or a month or a year. You may have to wait maybe 5 years or 10 years to get the tree. Same in yoga, a lot of the practices, you can do the practice, but you need to build up the practice to get the result. One of the benefits of this system is that a lot of people feel the benefits, the positive benefits, within the first few sessions,
Mhm.
and certainly by the end of the foundation course or the introduction course. So that's one of the benefits, because that gives you motivation to more study and more practice. So along your path, your personal path, you will get a little glimpse of the future possibilities, and then that gives you encouragement to practice more. Probably similar with other subjects. For example, for you, if you're, I'm guessing, but perhaps you look at other masters and see what their technique is, and you learn from that, and then you get encouraged to practice more.
Mhm.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
From my point of view, Swami has given little hints
Mhm.
of what is in the future, and they've all come true. So that gives me the encouragement and motivation to carry on. I can almost I can guarantee he knew more about me than I know about me, or anyone else. Yeah. So if you met Swamiji and you practice for maybe a week, then or even 3 days, or even half an hour, his personality is so nice
Mhm.
that you would never want to leave.
Mhm.
You want to stay with Swamiji, learn everything, and so on. However, where are we?
Ooh, crocodile.
You can try, what is it, number 8,
Mhm.
just the twist, the rock
Mhm.
one, not the roll. So go down. You can raise your
Mhm.
feet,
Yeah.
heels, and then just link as normal. Breathe in, hold the breath, and then head goes to the right, knees to the left. So you can rotate with the toes. Easy?
Awkward.
Okay, then shake. I'll show you the, I think there's a classical version of the same exercise, which is like this
Okay.
position. So if you try that, breathe out first, breathe in, and then keeping the back as straight as possible. Then head right, knees left, head left, knees right. Try to keep the hands in the same position, so you get an extra twist. Does that feel better? Not so awkward? Yeah. Okay. It's quite hard on the legs. Maybe not for you, because you practice the Tai Chi. What else? There's another classical one you can try, like this. Maybe I don't have the balance. So, yeah, be careful. And then, so eventually you want the hands in this position. Nearly, yes. So within 1 or 2 days, you'll be able to do. If you remember from the photographs, there was this exercise in the yoga center garden.
This is Swami's exercise?
There is one picture he's doing.
Alright.
But as you can see, it's similar to that number 5 and 6. Good. So what's after that? 9 would be laughing.
Laughing.
So same thing. But if we're doing it as a crocodile, then we can do it like this. So breathe in, hold the breath, and then you can maybe laugh. Then breathe in, laughing. And laughing. Then face each other. And breathe in, laughing. What is it? Where are we? Oh. Laughing. Then the last one. And then relax. And then, so without moving. So we're not leaning forward in this one because we wouldn't do it in the course. So breathe in, mouth closed, and just laughing. Try to shake the whole body. And then 2 more. So breathe in, and laughing. So the shaking is coming from the abdomen. Breathe in. You can put your hands here, and then you can help the laughing. And then relax, shake. Standing crocodile, standing fish relaxation. Can't really lift and drop. An alternative. So that's 9. Number 10 we can do as well. So link, feet together. That's fine. So that arrow comes up the centered line and then burst. So breathe in, hold the breath, and then try to pull apart. So make that tension slowly. Bring the arrow up the center line. When you get to as far as you want, and explode and shake. So that's number A. Then B is with the straight arms. So breathe in, hold the breath, and then with straight arms, keep trying to pull apart. Explode. Shake. Fish, that's it. Slightly different. Then optionally you can do the circle one and the circle one. So in theory we can still do the rolling one. So you just breathe in, hold the breath, and how do you do rolling? You just roll over.
I won't think it will be a same exercise.
Pardon?
I won't think it will have a same benefit.
One of the research results of Swamiji is the influence of gravity on not only humans but everyone. If you look at most animals, so imagine dog, cat, elephant, cow, horse, the spinal cord is horizontal.
Mhm.
So gravity is working equally on each vertebrae. Only the human is vertical, spinal cord. And gravity is working through the spinal cord. So there's a lot of weight at the base and then less and less up to the top. So you're right that the standing crocodiles are not so effective. Maybe it has different purposes and different effects. But the ones on the floor, front and back, those are
Key.
the key ones that you would use most of the time. So 99% you would use that. Maybe once in a year you can recall and remember the standing one. So where are we? Oh, try the rolling. It's fairly easy. So lift, breathe in, hold the breath, and just use your feet. It's too easy. Too easy. And then relax. No bumping into anyone. It's more interesting if there's maybe 10 people and they're trying to. But each person has their own rhythm. And even if I tell them don't clash, they're bound to clash. Sometimes intentionally. Especially in the rolling one. They bump into each other intentionally. Especially if it's family, like brothers or sisters. Okay, so one variation of shoulder rolling. So normally we're sitting and doing the shoulder rolling. For the standing version, we do it this way. So put your hand here. And the exercises are the same. It's only the hand position which is different. So that's one variation with the elbows down. Yours is a different variation with the elbows up. So neither is the correct one. Both are correct. Yep, so sometimes you can do this, sometimes this. This one is slightly more, perhaps more difficult. This one is a bit easier. So whichever one you choose, it doesn't matter. You get good benefit either way. So we'll do the same technique, 5 forward and 5 back. First both and then sing or cycle. So breathe in, hold the breath. So both forward first, about 5 forwards, and then about 5 backwards. And then relax, breathe out, hold the breath out for 1 second, and then breathe in with a fish relaxation. I remember this from a long time ago. It must be a long time ago because I was in the yoga center, in the training room when we were doing it. So more than 30 years back. Maybe 20 years back. Definitely 20 years back. So, next one. This is cycling. First forwards 5 times, then backwards 5 times. So you can do either, it doesn't matter. Oh, halfway. Have a medium level, difficult. So breathe in, and then cycling. Do about 4 times forwards. So just count on the right arm. 4 times forwards, 4 times backwards. And breathe out. Keep breathing out until all the air is out. Stop for 1 second and then breathe in. Okay. in into the chest. So up and down 4 times. And then forward and backward 4 times. And stop the exercise, breathe out until all the air is out. And then breathe in as you come up. Relax. So, from what Swami has told me, I know for myself that he's seen my whole future life from 1987. The reason I know is because there are certain incidents which happened which he had already gave the hint in 1987. So he knows about this, for example.
아, 오케이. 스와미 선생님이 우리가 여기 올 거 알고 있었다는 얘기야.
네.
선생님이 1980년도에 만났을 때 이미 계시를 줬대. 그러니까 인생에 있어서 앞으로 어떤 일들이 일어날 것에 대한 힌트를 줬는데
그 중에 이게 하나예요.
뭐 그렇다기보다는 어쨌든 예비할 시기가 있었다.
So Swamiji knows everything
모든 걸 다 아신다고.
about me, not only my previous life, but also future life as well. He knows everything. So he knows about this course. Guaranteed.
보충한다고.
There are other small other things which no one in the world could possibly have known, but Swamiji knew from 87. So how long is that? 40 years? 30 years?
30 years.
So that far back, he looked forward. So there are things which are still going to happen, which I don't know, but Swamiji knows. It's not only my personal view. When I've talked to other students of Swamiji, they have said similar, that there is information about themselves which no one else possibly could have known.
But he knew.
But Swamiji knew. But he doesn't say it in a way which is showing off. When he says something, you don't realize the connection. You might think, why is he saying this? But then 5 years later, 10 years later, in some cases only recently, so nearly 30 years later, then you think, aha, so you already knew this. I've got more examples, but mostly I've put it into the book, and anyone else can read it. The interesting thing is, if it was one example, then it's possible statistically.
Coincidence.
Coincidence, yeah. If it was 2 or 3 examples, maybe you start believing a little bit. But when it's so many examples, and also other people have said similar, then you start thinking it's very likely. For me, it's definite. Swamiji knew everything. He knew he was going to pass away within the next. So we were in Bulgaria, and he was telling. I was there. Chittaranjan was there. He was saying he doesn't have long to live, so he knew the time was coming. But he also knew the future of it. That he said, he told me directly, you must help the Bulgarian people. And I thought, how can I help? I'm going back tomorrow.
Okay.
What can I do? So what he saw forward, that they set up their yoga center in Bulgaria, in Sofia, and because Swamiji had passed away in September, and that was around December, they invited me to go over to, what's the word, when you start the yoga center, inauguration, you know,
Yes.
so for that ceremony, to start that yoga center, they invited me, so I went maybe or 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
helped them
Organized.
helped with the yoga
Mm.
teaching classes and so on. So that's what Swamiji meant.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year,
Mm.
they invited me again,
Mm.
and the next year, and I think one more. And then after that, I thought they're well established, they can continue themselves. And also they had the other children and and so on. So, where are we? Did we finish the
Shoulder.
shoulder exercise? So it's the single ones
Mm-hmm.
in a straight line. So breathe in, and then just up and down. So when you go up, you should be able to touch your ear. And then keeping the head forward, do one arm forward, one arm back. And then relax. So although we didn't do the beginning of the standing crocodiles, we started in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
but we've done half a course standing. What else can I show you? Oh, I just remembered there's another Kundalini activation exercise. This one is go gently first,
Mm-hmm.
don't go
Crazy.
crazy.